अखिल ब्रह्मांड मां एक तू श्री हरि, जूझवे रूप अनंत भासै। देह मां देव तू, तेज मां तत्व तू, शून्य मां शब्द थई वेद वासे। पवन तू, पाणी तू, भूमि तू, भूधरा, वृक्ष थई फूली रह्यो आकाशे। विविध रचना करी, अनेक रस लेवा ने, शिव थकी जीव थयो ए जाशे। अखिल ब्रह्मांड मां एक तू श्री हरि, जूझवे रूप अनंत भासे. Hi, my name is Mayank Chhaya. I'm a journalist and I want to talk to you about Narsinh Mehta. Narsinh Mehta arguably is one of India's greatest poet saints who lived exactly 600 years ago in 1414 and went on to become one of the most significant and defining voices of what we now call the Bhakti movement. This documentary that I have just begun crafting, it's titled Narsinh Mehta, the Poet for the Eons, will be shot almost entirely in Junagadh area of Gujarat where he lived. And considering the time that he lived in, there wasn't much for him to travel around. So he spent almost his entire life there, and a lot of what he wrote has been handed down sort of orally. There are some written materials that one is not sure about their veracity. But given India's very rich oral traditions, most of what he wrote has come down in the perfect form, as it were. There are several ways to look at a figure like him. Of course, Indians of generations after independence have known him almost entirely because of his most famous bhajan, Vaishnava Janito Tene Kahiye, which Mahatma Gandhi uh, made sort of his life's guiding force. So much so that there are people who think it was Gandhi who wrote it, which is just as well. After a while, it's not the writer who matters; it's the written word that matters. And as we can see in the enduring success of Vaishnava Janito 600 years down the line, we know that to be the case. I've been asked several times about the lure, the appeal of Narsinh Mehta to me personally. Of course, the popular answer is to say that it's his most famous bhajan, Vaishnav Janato. At some level, it is, but for me personally, I think the what strikes home is rather metaphysical in some ways, rumination in a bhajan that starts with Jagine jo to jagat dise nahi. Jagine jo to jagat dise nahi, ungma atpata bhog bhase. Now, what he's talking about is extraordinary in the sense that he is talking about how when he wakes up, Jagine jo to, he does not find the world. The world has disappeared. Now that concept is, to me, it is profound. Here is a poet 600 years ago living in an obscure little village-like situation in India is engaging in such remarkable rumination. It's metaphysical rumination. And Narsinh Mehta's life is characterized by this kind of thought process because he was arguably one of the greatest names of the Bhakti movement, which really didn't start anywhere close to Gujarat where he was born, but the way he took to it without, my contention is that he took to it without consciously realizing it. It now seems that what he wrote is part of a pattern. But I'm pretty sure when he was doing it, he was not quite aware of that, given the kind of communication that existed. So that's my main draw to this documentary, which is about to take off.